I just noticed behind me, you know what, Richard?
What's
That
behind you?
there's always balloons in my house. Um, my daughter was in the musical. You're awesome, apparently. I don't know. There's always that's our big thing. We always get balloons for accomplishments, or they get balloons. So anyway,
What
that's
about
what that.
flowers? You have that base covered. Come on,
Yep.
let's talk about some good stuff. What do you got?
Okay. So still no Aaron Rodgers. That's that. The
Put a pause
Penguins.
there for a second.
Pause. Hit the pause button. Penguins. They got eliminated. So that's that. Pirates. They got their doors blown off last night. So there's that. Um. What is their positive? Although I might be more positive on the Steelers than you think. I don't know. I think it's a time of evolution for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's going to be interesting to see out the other side what happens.
Well, I'm going to just say this again. And usually, it doesn't matter what the race is. If you have a good racehorse, you bet that horse,
Uh-huh.
right? It doesn't matter if it's Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont. It doesn't matter. Good horse is always going to be a good horse, and you bet on that horse. I'm betting on the horse, and
Yeah?
that horse is Omar. That's my horse. I'm betting on Omar, and that's short term, midterm, and long term. My
Okay.
vote, my vote, my my bet absolutely goes to Omar. And regardless of how it ends, whether Aaron Rodgers comes here or whether he doesn't come here, I believe there's a longer plan in place. And I think there's a short-term plan in place, but I believe in the people. And if you just, and I would say this to anybody that would be listening to this, if you ever had the opportunity to have a 10-minute conversation with Omar Khan and ask and talk about anything but football, talk about it, just talk. If you had that ability to have that 10-minute conversation, you would walk away as convinced as I am of the future of this franchise because this is beyond his brain, beyond his salary cap greatness, and beyond all of that. He's a great human being. He's a good, great guy. That's the kind of people the Rooneys have always associated with. That's the kind of people that have built the foundation since 1933. That's where we are. And so going forward really is a much clearer vision for me because I
Yeah.
absolutely support Omar.
Yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. We'll see what happens here,
But
especially
he
with the
does. He knows
quarterback
what he's doing.
situation.
But you see, you're still holding back a little bit. He knows what he's doing, but with integrity.
But right. No, no, that's not to be questioned. Here's the thing though. People are flipping out. I actually don't mind if Will Howard ends up being the starter.
No,
It
see, I
doesn't
don't mind either. I don't
it
mind
doesn't
that either.
bother me. There are so many people caught up in this race and in this pecking order game, whatever. I I I don't want to say it's negligible, but I think they end up with about the same results, no matter if one of those two guys are the starting quarterback.
Listen, I told you, Aaron Rodgers sat right across from me in that chair that you can't see, um, and had just the most open, wonderful. And Aaron Rodgers, by the way, is the same kind of guy. I love him. Um, but he had that conversation with me, and he absolutely likes Will Howard. No question. Will Howard can be achieve great things probably sooner and more efficiently if Aaron Rodgers is here.
maybe, yeah, yeah,
And
maybe. But at
so
some point, the torch gets passed. At some point,
it
inevitably.
at some point, and it may even do that halfway through the season, and that would only be by probably by choice of Aaron. I think Aaron comes in here with a plan, and I think he knows this is probably going to be the last year he plays. He wants to do it somewhere probably that has meaning. What better place for him to play with meaning? What better place? There is none. It's common
No,
sense. It's logic.
I get it. Hey, I have a question for you. And this is something I have never put anything on the internet or had a topic on my show, I should say,
Yeah.
that forced as many people to say, you're a pansy, you're a wuss, loser, move. I've never had a topic like this. I said, Cleveland's getting a new stadium, Buffalo's getting a new stadium, Denver's getting there's talk about a new football stadium there. So invariably, Pittsburgh's going to get a new stadium. And I said that it should, at the very least, have a retractable roof because it can get more things, right? Like the Final Four. Like, I'm not into this, but WrestleMania can go to places, and that draws 80,000 people. Um, Big concerts in the off season that's not the summertime. Even maybe during the summertime, it doesn't have to go all the way to Star Lake and even bigger concerts. These people came at me about this bravado, which I think is false bravado, about watching football in the outdoors, whatever. And for me, they're missing the whole point, which is the experience that football games have now turned into and how many people want luxury boxes and all that. If Pittsburgh builds a new stadium at some point, I think at the very least it should have a retractable roof, if not a full on roof. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. I think it's time for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans to, cross the generation gap because, it's that old school wear the jerseys, the short sleeve jerseys, even if it's 50 degrees below zero. No, come on, guys. This is, first of all, it's revenue. It's
Mm-hmm.
additional revenue. It's a much more comfortable experience. I know so many people that would go. I have season tickets. I won't go to the game after a certain date. I mean, call me a wuss. I'm
Right.
okay with that. I'm all right with that.
I'll just forward
Um,
you to the emails where they called me all those names, and then you can apply them to yourself.
okay, yeah, but they like me better. Um,
That's true.
um, no, I absolutely, I've said it for a long time, and I mean, there's something to be said. Well, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're tough. We're built Ford tough, and yeah, we're built Ford tough, all right. But I'd rather be built Ford tough in 65-degree weather as opposed to 65 below. So yeah, I can't believe you got that kind of feedback.
Oh, the responses were, I mean, it's like these people want Pitt Stadium back to sit on a metal
Honestly,
bleacher and sit out in an ice cold frozen beer. And I don't know. There's not a whole lot wrong with whenever it's December, 21st. There's not a lot wrong with Ford Field.
no, no, no. Let me tell you that. Have you been there?
Yeah, I
It's
think it's
fabulous.
fantastic.
It's fabulous.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
fabulous. So come on, guys, let's go. It's time for a change. And I hope we're going to get that new stadium. I think that would be wonderful.
is
Um,
Evgeny Malkin played his last game, by the way,
for us, yes,
as a Penguin?
yes,
Was it
yes.
too late? Should that move have been made a couple years ago, or did they ride it out to the right point?
Well, I think I mean, I think there's an argument to be made both ways. Evgeny's a wonderful guy, also. And we have great character sports figures in this town. We really do. He's a good guy. He can play. I mean, he was number one and two scorer, with Sid. So you can't really say. I'll tell you what did hurt us. That 5-game penalty
Oh
that hurt
yeah.
us. That hurt us. Um, but I mean, you could point to individual incidents for everybody, really. I think I think Evgeny. I mean, I don't know if they'll get anything for him. Maybe he does stay, but you can't get rid of him. How do you get rid of him? He's got a no cut clause, right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I just think, you know, so often we look at like the very end, and that's just a very small part of the whole journey of these guys. I've really looked at it retrospectively and said, there's been a high time of hockey here with some of the best players, if not the best player in the NHL since like 1984.
Yeah,
And it's a lucky place to live. I mean, really, if you think about it. Since Mario walked in all the way till about now, you can make an argument that one of the top three players in the NHL has played in Pittsburgh the whole time.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool. Um, it really is pretty cool, and I'm going to be interested to see what my friend Chris Letang does. Um, I mean, I think Chris can still play. Um, I'm not sure. I think there's nothing they can do, they being the Penguins, because he's got a fabulous contract.
Right.
Um, I think I read that there's 10 teams that he can improve. But Chris absolutely can play. So I hope he stays. I hope he does. And Sid, of course. I mean, realistically, you could have all three back.
It's always okay to retire too. I've not, I get the
I
drive
hate
of
that
these
word. I
guys.
hate that word. I hate that
I
word.
know. Man,
Stop
I'd
it.
retire tomorrow if I had enough money. Really.
Nah. Why? What would you do?
I'd wake up, I'd work out, I'd kick around and find something to do during the day.
You'd be bored out of your skull.
I'd try it and
Ah, you'd
see
be
where
bored out of your skull.
I
I
might
mean,
be.
I think that way about Chris Letang too, and about any major player. Think about this: they have a structure every day in their life. They're used to all the fan adulation. They're used to being the top of their game. Now all of a sudden you come out, you say, "I'm going to retire." Okay, blah. Now what? 5 years from now, do we remember any of these people?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know, but I'd give it a go and see what it was. But once you turn that way, most often you can't turn back.
Can't come back. So
Yeah,
you got to be sure that's really what you want. But
I know.
um,
What else you got going on? Anything exciting?
well, we have From America for America, which is not really the title, but it's American Values, American Value for American Values, which means employee pricing. I never talk about prices
Right,
in
right, right.
cars, but it really is a fabulous opportunity for everybody. Really speaks, you talk about gas prices and you talk about the economy and talk about that. So I really think it's Ford's response to overcome all that, give people the opportunity to have peace of mind, to buy a new vehicle. And I think Ford's really stepped up again.
Well, I know last time this happened with employee pricing, it
Yeah.
took like 4 days or whatever. That following weekend, it was like out the door at the dealer. Like you couldn't get in. Like there was
Yeah.
all kinds of people. And I assume it'll be that way moving forward this weekend all the way through probably at least the holiday weekend, which
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
too far from now. Like
Yes.
it's go time now, like heading
Yeah.
into summer, what it would
Oh,
seem.
yeah. Yeah, it is 100%. And that's the other amazing part. I can't believe we're in May.
I
It's,
know I'm
it's
excited for it. Trip to Michigan coming up for NASCAR. That's happening in the
when are you
first of
doing that?
June 3rd, I guess it is, whatever that weekend is. So that's happening. I can't wait for that. That's an easy trip. 4 hour trip each way. It's the easiest drive in the world. You could fall asleep in your car and go off the road and not hit anything hard. I mean, it's just like seriously, you see all of Ohio, like the
I
whole
have to
thing.
tell you, I have to tell you, you talk about that for a minute. You talk about our self-driving, which is, we call it Blue Cruise. And I
Right.
am going to say the absolute wrong thing here.
You don't like it because you're not in control and you're the in control person. Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I try it. I do. I try it and I can't. And it always feels like it's not going to work. And so I grab the steering wheel. I can't. I can't.
I had
Can't
it.
do it.
What did I have it in? An Explorer, I guess, probably. They have it in an Explorer. I had it in one of the vehicles. I think it was an Explorer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was on 28 between Pittsburgh Mills and Katanning, and I used it the whole way there. After about 2 miles of that whole anxious, do I need to? I got used to it, and I tell you, I liked it. Now, I'll tell you where it could be incredible is if you're in Montana or Arizona or somewhere in Idaho in the middle of nowhere and you're just going.
Yeah. And there's nothing to hit.
Right. But it analyzes your eyes and stuff where you got to look forward and you have to have your hands on the wheel. You can't just
That's
like go to sleep.
no, but that's coming.
You think so?
Oh yeah, no, that's in development. Yeah, no, that's coming.
Now, I do like, this is an interesting conversation because my son and I actually had this conversation where he was the same way. It it's act many people are wired to just be active drivers, not passive drivers. And so I'm the same way as you kind of where I want to be an active driver and not a passive driver just along for the ride. But I did get used to it. The only thing was it was a weird, awkward time. It was like a Tuesday morning or something. There wasn't anybody on the road. That made it a lot easier. If there were more cars, I'd want to grab the wheel, but there was nobody on the road. It was like a Tuesday I had off, and I took it all the way up 28 for something. So
Yeah,
that
I
was
don't,
that.
I'm not a fighter of technology or future. I love all of it. I really do. That one though, it just makes me nervous. I
Do,
am a control freak.
so you
So
still parallel park like this? Like turn off the camera and look back through the back
no,
window?
I don't know how we ever lived without a camera.
I could still do it without the camera and like really well.
Can you?
I am self-anointed, and I can parallel park in a. You give me 3 inches on either side, I can parallel park with only one reverse and one forward.
So when you do that, how far forward do you pull to the car that's parallel?
A little bit beyond it, not too
So
far.
you
Like
go all the way up past it, past
no,
the
no,
end
no.
of the car?
My bump, no, no. Even with it, but my bumper is beyond its back bumper just a little bit. I don't need to go past the whole car, only into about the back door of it. Follow my back bumper is even with its back door,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
cut it
What degree?
in. Then
45 degree?
no, cut the wheel almost all the way.
Okay.
And then once you're about halfway into that spot, you cut it hard the other way. And then it's a wiggle game. It's like that. Then you get as close. The key is you got to get on that first shot as close to the car behind you as humanly possible. I mean, like that. And then you just sort of fall into the spot.
Well, I have younger people in the office with me. I have Kristen and I have Chelsea,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not sure. And I'll ask them both. Do you guys have trouble parallel parking?
No,
No? No? Do you
See,
rely on the camera?
I didn't have a backup camera until this past
look at
year.
her.
Oh,
See?
really? That's good. Okay.
See, my
Thank,
wife won't go places because of it.
It helps.
really?
She'll go to a parking lot. She'll walk a mile as opposed to trying to do it. She hates it.
Okay. And well, your wife is your generation. She's your age.
Yeah. So
I
she
didn't
used to
when
not do it. She just doesn't like it.
Kristen said she didn't have a backup camera until this year. And
Wow.
so I know it's crazy. I love the backup camera,
Now,
but it's confusing. It's actually because there's so many lines. Like, what's this color line mean? What's that color line mean?
right. And
But
then
I
there's
think it's a
beeps.
good
There's
skill.
also
It's
beeps.
yes, but it's a good skill. You really need to know as a new driver how to parallel park.
Now, I'm not driving a King Ranch, so it's a little different. It's not like, this
The
gigantic.
process is the same.
Right, right, right. But yeah, the key is that first turn. Once you get in, you're in, and you can't screw it up. The other thing is, if you're somewhere like Walnut Street and Shady Side or somewhere, sometimes you have an audience, and you
Oh
got to
yeah.
make sure to get it right,
Oh yeah.
or
Have
you
you
can
ever just said, "Oh, screw it," and
it
pulled
just
out?
pulled out and just
Yeah,
gone. Yeah, you got to get out of there.
I know.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's great. So
Mm-hmm.
technology talk with Colin and Richard.
Yes. There was something else that was technological on the. Oh, this sounds like a small thing, but do you know what Ford has that I'm addicted to? Changing the presets on the steering wheel of the radio. That's big because too many cars now in all makes, all models, they don't have knobs, they have buttons. Buttons are
Yeah.
harder than knobs.
Yes, they are.
And so to just have that press to go through the presets makes it easier. If you have like a 1978, Ford F-150, you just by memory could reach over and know where the knobs go. Now everything's a press, and it's actually harder, I think.
I don't know. It's just what you're used to, but we are the technology kings. So
You
whatever
are.
it is, we really are. Ford Motor Company really is. We're beyond.
I
This is a
agree
great
with you.
opportunity to try us. Employee pricing. This is not a commercial, but it sounds like one. But this is who we are, and this is what we do.
There you go. All right. Anything else
Okay.
going on?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Do we have an audience today?
Big one. You take it easy. Stay out of the rain. It's going to rain for like the next 8 days.
I know. Be careful, and I hope you feel better.
You too. I'll see you soon.
Bye bye.